The political left has suddenly become extremely bad at political strategy. They seem to assume that simply being right entitles them to victory. They seem to think that simply being a lesser evil will get them elected. They fail to control the narrative, they fail to engage in effective political communication, they fail to have a good political strategy, they are bad at politics, they are bad at winning. The right, on the other hand, is great at controlling the narrative. They easily make politics revolve around their favourite issues. Look at the massive treaty debate they have ignited. A treaty debate that effectively obscures their disturbing anti-worker, donor-serving policies. And the left plays into their hand and embraces their narrative. They feed the distraction. Why is the left so bad at strategy? The right makes the narrative revolve around issues where they are strong and the left is weak. Co-governance, crime, economics, taxation. The left totally fails to control the narrative. The left does not have to be like this. In the past, left-wing leaders have done an excellent job. They have controlled the narrative, they have engaged in effective political communication. They have defined the central political issues. Former Australian Prime Minister Paul Keating is a favourite example of mine. The 1993 Australian election was considered unwinnable for the Labour Party. The party had been in power for a decade and was in a terrible place in the polls. Defeat looked inevitable. Their opponents, the right-wing coalition, was proposing a number of policies, one of them being a goods and services tax. Labour opposed this policy. Paul Keating recognised that on this issue, Labour was strong and the right was weak. He identified that this issue was a potential weak point to be exploited. He knew even their own voter base would dislike this policy due to their disdain for taxes. So he made GST the central election issue. He talked about it all day, every day. He dominated the narrative. He made the election a referendum on the GST. The result was a Labour Party victory. Not only did Labour win, they actually gained seats. Against all the odds, Keating's strategy secured a victory for Labour. He did not win by becoming right-wing. He did not win by abandoning Labour Party values. He won by controlling the narrative. He won by wisely choosing the central election issue. He won by making the election a referendum on GST. The left can learn a lot from Keating. Choose to fight on territory that is favourable to you. Do not aimlessly wander into your opponent's territory. Make them come to your territory, fight them on your own terms, and defeat them where you are strongest. That is what good political strategy looks like. Lean into your strengths, not your weaknesses. At present, Labour wants to focus on crime. They want to lean into their weaknesses. Big mistake. They should be making things like unemployment, public spending, corruption, and workers' rights the central political issues. Labour is strong on these issues, and the right is weak. If Labour can make these the central political issues, they can win. The left does not need to be bad at strategy. Look at previous Labour governments. Helen Clark's government. Clark created a strong reputation that was perfect for the time period. This resulted in 3 consecutive election victories. Look at the Michael Joseph Savage government. They governed for 14 years, because they leant into the pro-worker, pro-welfare policy that is a Labour Party strength. They embraced these things. The left can be good at communicating, the left can be good at dominating the narrative. Whenever I speak about this, people act like I am trying to mislead voters. Of course, this is nonsense. I want voters to focus on issues of central importance, issues that the left focuses on. The average voter does not read every policy. They vote based on appearances. Managing your appearance properly is key. The right understands this. They are very good at it. Political strategy is real. Effective communication is what decides election outcomes. You cannot win unless you accept that reality. That does not mean misleading voters, it means telling them why they should vote for you.